Hello everyone, and welcome to another Let's Play of Quest for Glory 3. My name is Anna Mardon, and I love Sierra very much, but Sierra doesn't love me. Today we're going to do the wizard walkthrough of the game, because it is very different from the paladin. And I actually have 3 hours of video that I cannot use because while doing the wizard walkthrough I hit a bug. So hopefully we will get around this bug. I looked up some ways to get around it, but it also means I have to start over. So here we go. Let us play the game. We're going to import a character. It lets you import character data from Quest for Glory 1 or 2, which is nice. Because back in the day, if you missed a game, you couldn't just get it on GOG if it wasn't being carried by the local game sellers. So this was a way of not leaving players behind. I know the music is loud. I cannot do anything about it until we get through the first portion of the game. So let's just dive in.
I thank you, Rakisha, my prince, for answering my summons. I have information for both of you. As you know, 3 months ago in Razir, the evil Aravis attempted to unleash the genie Iblis in order to rule the world. As Aravis stood before his hexagram, preparing to unleash the foul Iblis to do his bidding. Hear me, O dark powers! Light the darkness and bind Iblis to me forever! You entered the room and broke the seal of Solomon by moving the candle. You idiot! You have destroyed my spell! Now you shall be destroyed! Your spell of reversal protected you from his spells. Unfortunately, Aravis also had a spell to reflect spells. No! No! Master, help me! You bounced your spell off the wall and into the flaming Brazier, knocking Aravis to his doom below. When Aravis died, his magical power was released, and I could sense the moment of his death. Such a release of power could be felt by skilled magic users all over the world. Still, there is some mystery concerning the death of Aravis. It is very disturbing that the body of Aravis could not be found. Even with all my magic, I cannot determine who or what removed the body, or what became of it afterwards. I believe the unbinding of Aravis's power could well have other, darker results. Now we are again in my house in Shapir. Hero, you have become the Prince of Shapir by order of the Sultan Harun al-Rashid. Rakish now desires to return to his home in Tarna. Last night I received this message from the sorceress Krisha in Tarna. Please tell Rakish that he must return quickly to Tarna. There is serious talk of war here, and I think only Rakish can now bring peace. I believe there is more to this war than just the anger of 2 tribes. I believe that a demon has again broken through to this land and seeks to destroy us all. In 3 days, a magical portal will open to Shapir to take Rakish back to Tarna. I suggest that if you, Prince of Shapir, wish to truly be a hero, you accompany Rakish. If there is indeed a demon, it is probable that it was released into this world by the death of Aravis. You must stop it and send it back to its own world. Here we go. Palace of the Sultan of Shapir, 3 days later. It greatly grieves me to say farewell to such fine friends and honored guests. Rakish, you were a great aid to me, and I sorrow to see you return to Tarna. O great Sultan, it has been an honor to serve you. Uhura, warrior of the Simbani, you have been a most excellent guildmaster for the Adventurers Guild and a gifted instructor of combat. Thank you for your services to Shapir. I leave Shapir with a great treasure, my son Simba. I never forget this place, but it will be good to go home again. My son, it breaks my heart to see you leave. You will always have a home here in Shapir. My gift for your leaving comes from the gnome Keep On Laughing. I asked him for something you would find useful. May it serve you well.
and we get hugs. And from here, the opening continues to be the same. I'm gonna skip through some of the dialogue. I don't want to read it all to you again. Here we are in Tarna. Here we are in Krisha's home.
It is good to see you again, Krisha.
It is good to be with you again, Rakesh. And we're gonna zip through this. Uhura's gonna go back home to the Sambani.
This is the young hero about whom Azizo spoke with you. He is the adopted Prince of Shapier and a most honorable man.
I can sense that you are skilled with magic. Know, however, that the usage of magic is forbidden upon the streets of Tarna in order to protect those without magic. Now we can turn the volume down. Let's bring it down to about thus. Does that sound about right? Please let that be right. Okay. Man, what a couple of days it's been. Like I said, I've recorded 3 videos and ran into a bug, some frustrations. It's been a thing. So I'm trying to figure out where to start because I'm gonna need to repeat some things. Oh, okay, obviously. Why are we going through a wizard run? I'm gonna turn on the music a little bit because it's kind of repetitive. Why are we going through a wizard run? Quest for Glory 1 had introduced the idea of 3 different classes, which has been integral to the series ever since. Now we have 4, because in addition to fighter, there's a paladin, but fighter and paladin are basically the same character. And this game even acknowledges that, because in order to get full fighter points, you have to become a paladin if you're a fighter. So, really, there's still only 3 character classes. It's just paladin, sort of like a prestige class for fighters. So, Quest for Glory 1 introduced this idea of 3 different characters, fighter, mage, and thief. And it was fun and lovely and a kind of D&D-esque and kind of a neat new idea for games. Obviously, it hadn't been like that for the other Sierra games where you were playing a character like King Graham or something. Here you were playing your own character and you could make your own decisions about what kind of person you were and what kind of skills you had. But Quest for Glory 1 had kind of a glaring problem in that the ending was they fell back on their puzzle dungeon history, and the last 4 big rooms of the ending for Quest for Glory 1 all had the exact same solutions regardless of what class or what skills you had. I think that betrayed some early lack of confidence in the concept, and they kind of went back to what they were familiar with. Quest for Glory 2 tried to address that and tried to address it very narrowly. In other respects, it's pretty much the same as Quest for Glory 1 in that you can do the thiefy things as a fighter and you can do the magey things as a thief and you can do, all the different side quests and stuff. If you've got the skills, you can do it. You're not barred out based on your character class. But the ending split off into 3 paths. I previously theorized that there were 2 checks, one at the Room of Iblis and one when you enter the Adavis room. And I've since decided I was wrong, and there's only 1 check. And it's when you enter the Room of Iblis' statue. It checks and decides which ending of the 3 you're going to go to. And they're all 3 different. But what messed me up was that the fighter and the mage one look very similar. When you enter the Room of Iblis, the first thing it checks for is whether you've got the necessary skills and inventory items to do the thief ending. If you do, boom, congratulations, you get the thief ending. You go through the harem, you go to the back
parapet, you use the rope to get to Atavis, and you get the thief ending. If you have the reversal spell, when you enter the Iblis statue room, then you get shunted to the mage ending. The mage ending looks very similar to the fighter ending. You fight Kaveen, or you cast Calm on him to get him, I think, to leave the room. Then you go into Atavis's room and you disturb the candles. I use the Force spell, but based on that introduction we just saw, it looked like Fetch would have worked as well. I never thought to use Fetch, to be honest. And then you use your reversal spell to protect yourself from Atavis's attack. Atavis also has a reversal spell, so you use magic to flip over the brazier of coals, and he falls off the ledge and dies. That's the mage ending. If, when you enter the Iblis room, you don't have the thief stuff, and you don't have the mage stuff, you get shunted over to the fighter ending. Which I suppose would also be your ending if you were a failed thief or a magic user that never learned to become a wizard. I don't know. The differences with the fighter ending is when you fight Kaveen, he drops his sword and you have a chance to let him recover it, which confused me so much when we played through the first time because I couldn't get that to trigger because I was in the mage ending by accident. And I was like, why won't he drop his sword? It says he's supposed to drop his sword. Because I was in the mage version of the ending, and in the mage version of the ending, he doesn't drop his sword. When you go to the thief version of the ending, he does drop his, the fighter version of the ending, he does drop his sword, and you can let him to pick it up. And then you go into Atavis's room, you kick over a candle, and then you just sort of bull rush him over the edge or knock over the brazier. So okay, fine. Why are you telling us these things we already know? My point here is that Quest for Glory 2 followed in the spiritual footsteps of Quest for Glory 1, in that throughout the main game you could solve things however you wanted, although in some cases you didn't get points unless you solved it the right way. But so they were kind of grappling with that idea of making the game different for the fighter, mage, and thief, but they hadn't really figured out what that looked like. And then at the very end, instead of having one ending for everybody like in Quest for Glory 1, you had 3 endings, one for each character type. Quest for Glory 3 decided to be more ambitious than that. They looked at this setting and said, you know what? This setting is going to treat the hero differently based on what character type he is. Spielberg didn't care. You were a newbie hero who either used a dagger, a sword, or magic. But nobody really pegged you as a fighter, a wizard, or a thief. Similarly, Quest for Glory 2, Shapir didn't really care what your class was. In Quest for Glory 3, you're now a big enough deal that people have heard of you, they know you're a paladin, or a wizard, or... I don't know what the cover story is for a thief. Maybe acrobat? Because you would need a cover story. But you have some notoriety, and people know about you, and so you have this setting where each culture is unique, and they share different attitudes towards things like honor and magic use, which honor affects paladin and thief behavior, and magic use obviously affects the wizard. So the Simbani tribe that we speak to very much revolves around a fighter's skills. I mean, their whole culture, as far as we understand, values that. They don't even apparently treat you as an adult or let you get married if you don't become a warrior. And becoming a warrior requires you to pass skills tests of running and throwing and stuff. So it stands to reason that a fighter or a paladin is going to have a better rapport with the people of that community because he is good at the things that they value. The Symbani also hate magic, which means that a magic user is going to be treated a little bit differently there. But then you have the leopard men in the jungle who absolutely love magic. They base their whole society around magic. As far as we can tell, or as far as we know, magic use in a leopard man is mandatory for participation in the higher echelons of power. The chief, the shaman, they're all magic users. So whereas a fighter or a paladin is going to have more things to do with the Symbani, specifically the initiation ceremony and joining the tribe, the magic user is going to have more things to do with the leopard men. The thief is the odd duck in the trio because neither the Symbani or the leopard men or the Tarna people value thief skills or thief ways of life. I do think that at least for the first 4 games, the writers were really struggling with how to understand a thief hero. I think they felt like it was a contradiction in terms in many ways, which I'm like, have you guys never played D&D? Have you not heard of honorable bards that also steal things and thieves that do good, Robin Hood? Come on, it's not that hard. But they really seem to struggle with that. So we have yet to see a culture that really embraced thievery as a lifestyle. I think Quest for Glory 2 was a failed opportunity because, like I said, we should have had a Hunchback of Notre Dame-esque Court of Miracles area for a thief to hang out in. I'm so sad we didn't have that. But so a thief in Tarna is kind of the odd man out in terms of there's not a lot of places to use and practice his skills. There's nowhere to climb. There's nowhere to practice lockpicking. You will not max out those skills in this game. Even if you wanted to, you can't do it. Excuse me, by the way, for sniffing. I think I'm coming down with something. And so the thief has some opportunities to basically pull an end run around the Symbani and Leopardman cultures, which don't value him, so he can break in and basically steal the Spear of Death and the Drum of Magic. I do not believe I will be doing that run through because I don't think it's got enough added content to be interesting enough to do a run through for it, but also because after running into bugs with the wizard, I am pooped, you guys. So I'm like, man, we're gonna hit it. I'm actually gonna be saving like a paranoid person because I'm so worried about hitting bugs. So having said that, I don't know how many saves we can have, but we're gonna find out. All right, let's turn the volume back up a little bit. Oh, actually, one more thing. No, we'll just keep going. I changed my mind. We're going to greet Creesa. We're going to tell her about Shapeir. You must indeed be a hero to defeat such a wicked wizard. The problem with these conversation options in this game is it makes me paranoid. I know, because I have the points list right here and I'm looking at it, that I don't need to talk to Rakeesh about every one of his talk options. You don't get points for it. I don't even think it triggers any flags for asking stuff later. It's all just hard-coded to this is what they talk about right now, and later they'll talk about other things, whether you saw this or not. But I feel like if I don't click on everything, then something might go horribly wrong, and so I'm just going to zip through this stuff that we've already seen. But this is new. Well, actually, this part is not new, but we can talk to Creesa in more depth about magic than a paladin could. I am a worker of spells, specializing in teleportation and communication. The magical portal which brought you here is an example of my magic. The magical portal allows people to travel across distances. It is an incredibly difficult spell to create, for it takes an incredible amount of magic and can only be done through ritual. A ritual is a series of actions and events used as magical spells. Much of my magic is done through ritual, as is much of the magic in this region of the world. That's actually true, which we saw when we infiltrated the Leopardmen village. They change into Leopardmen through ritual. You are very eager to learn, are you not, young wizard? I can teach you a spell which will allow you to channel your energy. Now is not the time to speak of spells, though, young mage. I must talk with Rakeesh about many things first. Ask me about magic sometime later, please. So we are going to say goodbye and give them some alone time. They have not seen each other in quite some time. Oh, that's not what we want. Stealth, that's what we want. Speed. Zip out of here. Man, I'm going to be sniffing a lot. I'm sorry. So I will be using the points guide more aggressively this time than I used it the first time, which was to say not at all. And the first thing on the list is to chase the thief Harami to the next scene. There is a section on the points guide called Points Only Magic Users Can Get, and one of them is Stop the Thief with Magic. And I really was confused by that, because I was like, it never even occurred to me to stop him with magic, because she specifically told you not to use magic in the streets of Tarna. And why would you think to do that? And so I thought you were supposed to stop him with magic because you were a mage and then get points for chasing him. No. If you stop him with magic, you get 7 points. If you chase him, you get 8 points. You don't double up. It's either or. You gotta pick one. Which means that, once again, you can completely screw over your point total forever within the first 5 minutes of the game. Which is something that people hate Sierra for. Is the fact that a lot of their puzzle games were so ridiculously guide dang it that you had to have a strategy guide in order to play them at all. And Quest for Glory 2 were, for the most part, barring the Quest for Glory 2 ending bugs, were better about that. So it's incredibly frustrating to me that within the first 5 minutes of the game, you can fuck up your point score forever for the rest of the game and not know it because you stopped the thief wrongly. If you stop the thief with magic, you get a really interesting scene where the Council of Judgment scolds you and Krisha sticks up for you and says, look, he's a magic user. Magic users cast instinctively. He's brand new to the city. He's been here 5 minutes. Cut him some slack. And then make you swear that you won't do it again, basically. And it's an interesting scene. And it's neat to see Krisha stand up for you. We will not be seeing it here because... Oh, well, I guess we can real quick. Why not? It'll be faster than me trying to summarize it. Let me tell you about the scene you can't see. Okay, so the... Sorry. The loading is really long. I'm wondering if there's something wrong. So he starts running. Stop him, thief, thief, thief. So we cast, I thought we'll cast Calm because it doesn't hurt people. It's not like throwing fireballs around. And he falls, which I didn't think Calm was supposed to do that, but... So they judge him honorless. Big deal. The Council of Judgment now summons the Prince of Shapeir. The Prince of Shapeir did willfully use magic in the Bazaar of Tarna in order to apprehend the honorless one. The use of magic in the Bazaar is in direct violation of the laws of Tarna. The Prince of Shapeir is a stranger and unaccustomed to our laws. A magic user instinctively uses magic. The Prince of Shapeir did use his magic to prevent the escape of the honorless one, thus aiding my guards. However, the Prince of Shapeir is still in violation of the laws of Tarna. Prince of Shapeir, swear by your honor to no longer use your magic in the city of Tarna, or else be banished immediately. Council of Judgment. My home is in the magic plane, and therefore exempt from this ruling. Acknowledged. Prince of Shapier, will you swear not to use magic in the city of Tarna except within Krisha's domain? You agree, having no real choice other than banishment. The Prince of Shapier is not to use magic within the city of Tarna. So I thought that was interesting because I'd never seen or heard the bit about Krisha saying that her home is in the magic plane. Don't actually know what that means, to be honest, but it's interesting. But you get 7 points for that. You get 8 points for just running impotently after him. No magic. Come back. Stop, thief. Okay. This part we've seen before. There is nothing new to say to Raja. He, instead of saying, how is he supposed to help, Rakesh? Is he a better paladin than you? He says, how is he supposed to help, Rakesh? Is he a better magic user than Krisha? Which is kind of a silly question, because the issue isn't that we're better than Krisha, it's that we can actually leave the city and go do stuff, whereas she has duties here to manage. So, we get to say hi to Krisha, and we'll once again do a quick talk of, oops, there we go. So let's talk about magic. My people have a saying, curiosity haunts a human. It certainly seems true in your case. Very well, if you wish to learn more about magic, you and I shall perform a ritual together. This ritual is that of the magic staff. A magic staff is both a container and an amplifier of the magic user's spells. It is a thing of magic and does not really exist in this world, so the wizard must summon the magic staff for each use. The ritual to create your magical staff shall take place here in my ritual chamber. However, before we can perform the ceremony, you must first return here with some magical wood. Which sounds like some kind of euphemism that wizards used to get laid. Hey baby, I've got some magical wood. She does not have anything to say about where to get magical wood, so all you're left doing is going, oh, okay, I guess. So that's kind of strange that you can't ask about that, but okay, fine. So let's go change our money. We get points for that. We even got a little boop boop boop. So, chase thief to next scene, we got 8 points. And then change money, we got 4, so 12. Way to go, us. We are going to talk to the merchant. And let's see if we'll take 160 for the water skins. I'm going to buy 15 of them. We already have one, but one of them gets taken for good when you give it to Salim. Say goodbye. So we got 3 points for buying a water skin. Which is, again, kind of weird because you do not need to buy a water skin in order to complete the game because you start with one and you only need one. But there it is. We bought some fruit, but you don't get points for that. Excuse me. We're gonna ignore the weapon seller for now, but he's not gonna ignore us. We're gonna talk to the junk dealers and there we go. Buy junk goods. Bargain that down to 160. Got points for the tinderbox. And we need to bargain and buy some honey. I'm a little disappointed that you can only find the honeybird once. I feel like maybe in an earlier version of the game you could get more than one honey feather by finding the honeybird more than once. But either I'm misremembering, or that was patched out, or I don't know. We do not need a rope. But we've got plenty of money and I'm going to buy one anyway, just in case. The rope seller, if you ask about rumors, says, there is a thief in the city, Effendi. This is very strange. There are no thieves in Tarna. I believe that if you make the thief sign at him, he acknowledges you and then says, don't try it here. Because, again, this city is not a city which is conducive to thievery. Okay, change money, 4 points. Buy water skin, 3 points. Buy honey, 2 points. Buy a tinderbox, 3 points. Tell the Kata about Shapir. So we're going to greet him. We're going to tell him about Shapir for 3 points. And we're going to give him Shima's note for another 5. Then we are going to do something that I don't for the life of me know how we were supposed to know, and we're going to give coins to the drummer for 3 points. How are we supposed to know to do that? Seriously. That's so annoying to me. We will buy some meat with some of our money. The meat seller is interesting because they clearly wanted to have a cheap ration offer, which is why they let you bargain them down so low. But it seems a bit excessive. Like, why? I mean, money is hard to come by in the game if you want lots of it, but if you just need a little bit for food... You can also ask him about rumors, and he promises to sniff some out for you. And it's interesting because he does have some, he's got some incredibly obvious, ridiculous stuff. And then he actually has some rumors about, I think, the Lost City that don't tell you anything new if you play the game normally. But still, it's like, huh, he did sniff out some decent rumors. All right, let's go visit the apothecary. And sit down. We're going to talk to him a bit.
What's your name? What's the apothecary like? What about feathers? Oh, he needs feathers. Honeybird. Non-violence. Cool, cool. Do you have any potions? Do you have a dispel potion? We've always needed one, so... Okay, so, what do you dream about? And you need to ask him about his dream in order to tell him about Julinar. I think it's weird that it's just right there on the main. Why would you just randomly ask about... If it was me, I would ask about Tarna, and then ask about the magic tree, and then that would open up plants, and then that would open up his dream. That's how I would have done it. I guess they were afraid you'd miss it if it wasn't on the main page. So we're telling about Julinar for 10 points. And, so that fixes that. We will, let's see, 5 cure, healing 20, mana 20. Okay, we're good on pills. We don't need any more pills at the moment. We're going to read the welcome bulletin board for, oh, we have to talk to the nice lady first. Here we go. Read welcome in bulletin board for 3 points. And let's go ahead and sit down and meet the welcome woman. She is one of the people whose information changes the most, which makes sense. She's you'd come to her for gossip and stuff like that. And of course, she's the one that you can ask about the survivor and ask how he's doing and how he's feeling. And she's the one that tells you when he dies, which is always sad. I don't think that's avoidable, like if you go through the game super fast or something. I don't think you can avoid that. I think it's a plot event that happens kind of in the background, whether you want it to or not. Alright. I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me for that. Now we're going to go up to... Whoa, that is not what I meant to do. Oh, I forget the number keys don't work in this game. Backspace 2. We're going to go up to the temple and be told to... get the gem from the heart of the tree. I do like the temple scene because if you've talked to the welcome woman, and we have, you learn that humans are not allowed in this temple. It's Liontar's only. So for us to just walk in, hi, we're trying to find somebody to talk to, is very disrespectful and inappropriate for this area. And this woman is on the Council of Judgment. We've seen her, the priestess. And the goddess actually animates to tell her, in my temple, you will speak only my words, beloved, not your own. Human, doer, changer of worlds, releaser of darkness, thou hast not yet been judged, and a future cannot yet be weighed. Yet thou hast already created a future for weal or woe. Should it be woe, then the towers of Tarna will fall, and the blood of my Liontar people will flood the savannah. For the darkness before us rises from the darkness behind you, and you must confront that darkness. Yet more I cannot see until you are judged. Leave us now and return with the gem of the Guardian. You shall then be weighed and judged, and a future can be seen. When you have been judged, we will reveal a future for you to make or unmake.
So one of the things I wanted to talk about that I forgot to, because I talked about it already in the video that doesn't exist anymore, or which, I mean, it exists, but I can't share. I'm not going to show you 3 hours of me failing due to a bug. In the introduction, and this is the thing that I paused to not talk about earlier because I wanted to get going. In the introduction, Aziza says that Aravis's body disappeared after he died. And it seems like that's going to be a major plot point for this game, but it actually never comes up again at all. Until at the very end, when we're zapped away, and it cuts to 2 ominous figures watching us in a crystal ball. One of those figures looks an awful lot like Aravis, which implies that he's not dead, or that being dead didn't stop him from walking around. It would seem that perhaps his body wasn't stolen so much as his body, when he died, kept moving and walked off. Aravis's death triggered the demon wizard being able to come back into this world and cause more problems. It's not clear how that happened. It's something to do with the release of magic and look over there, puppy. But we were the ones who killed Aravis. Intentionally or not, we set in motion this demon wizard coming back, and also whatever the hell is going on with Aravis walking around despite being dead. So that is what is referred to when Sekhmet and others in this game talk about us unleashing the darkness that now faces their people. We didn't unleash the darkness in like a woohoo, darkness, it's awesome, spring break kind of a way, but we did kill Aravis, and that action and chain of events led to this new chain of events occurring. So, in that sense, we are responsible for what is happening right now. Now, I mean, obviously, we kind of had to do it because otherwise the world literally would have ended. So I think we made the right choice. But it was a choice, and the honorable thing to do is to own it and fix it. I'm just talking through with the guards. There's no points here, but like I said, I have kind of panicky feeling that I need to talk to them. I do like that the guards, you have an older guard who served with Rakeesh, and a younger guard. We've got 3 points for leaving Tarna. A younger guard who has only ever heard the stories. And you have kind of a nice little argument between them where the younger guard doesn't really view Rakeesh the way the older guard does. The older guard remembers Rakeesh as a great king and a good paladin who did a right and noble and honorable thing by stepping down. The younger guard just knows that abdication sounds kind of cowardly. So they have kind of a little bit of an argument. It's kind of interesting because it lets us see the different attitudes towards ex-King Rakeesh. It's easy to forget that he used to be king and is therefore a big deal to the people here. Like, to us, he's our friend and a paladin and just this guy that sits around in Krisha's back room and doesn't seem to do anything. But he was a king. So, he's probably, in ways that we don't see, going around and calling on old supporters and talking to them and whining and dining them and explaining to them why war is a bad idea and so on and so forth, and politicking behind the scenes. And we just don't see that, so it's easy to forget about it. But he was king. He's a big deal. And it's interesting to see the divide in the old guard who still respect him and the youngins who are like, who is he? That's yesterday, granddad, kind of a thing. So this is the Venomous Vine. And we're going to use magic to get a fruit. And that should give us 8 points. Oh man, I'm going to have to add. Chase the thief Harami, that's 8. Change money, that's 4 for 12. Buy water skin, that's 3 for 15. Buy honey for 2 and tinder for 3, so that's 20. Tell Kata about Shapir and give him a note, that's 8 total, so that's 28. Give coins to Drummer for 3, so that's 31. Tell Salem about Jewel for 10, so that'd be 41. Read the welcome in board and leave Tarner for the first time. Those are both 3, so the 41 has become 47. Get venomous vine fruit for 18. Okay, 55, good. I got paranoid because it didn't do the bloop bloop bloop, or if it did, I didn't hear it. So if you are a fighter or a paladin, you're supposed to leave this area, come back, watch the little mirror bat get trapped, save him, which is honor points and puzzle points, and then leave again and come back a third time, and he'll be giving you a venomous fruit and the opal that we need for the end of the game. Why you would think to go there 3 times to do that, I do not know. But I can tell you that the mage is supposed to do the opal differently, and I don't remember how. I just remember, I know that you are because of the point system. So we will not get the opal now, and hopefully that won't completely screw over our game. Arnie the Aardvark has come to visit. There are no points for talking to him. He is an extremely useful character to come visit, and I'm glad he came visit on our first night in the Savannah, because one of my big complaints about the world map is you cannot tell what's something to interact with and what's not. And Arnie kind of tells you, here's the 4 different areas of the Savannah to go into, here's the 4 different areas of the jungle, and that way you have a little bit more guidance than just clicking your way around the map and hoping that you stumble into the interesting bits. So that was a good design decision. I would like to get a honeybird feather, but that is something that is based on chance and luck as opposed to what I want. This is our first battle as a magic user, and you'll notice that we have the actual magic skills here. Although we can switch over to our dagger and use that. Mages can do that, and thieves have that option if they know magic. Fighters and paladins do not have that GUI, which is frustrating because it's probably the easiest way to spam spells and try them out. I was reading as preparation for this walkthrough. I don't like the combat system in this one. And part of it is because it seemed kind of buggy. You swing your sword and a lot of times it misses and everything. Well, they actually did that on purpose to try to simulate real combat and force the combat to take longer so that the player was forced to dodge and parry in order to not take damage during the long combat. So, and it was like there was an interview with Corey Cole saying, well, in the first 2 games, dodge and parry were basically useless. People didn't use them. And so we made combat basically force you to use dodge and parry to make those skills worthwhile. And my eyes rolled out of my head, because anytime you're trying to force the player to play a way they don't want, a way they don't want to, you've already lost the game. You cannot force players to do something unfun and... Wait, don't leave. No! Fudge! Okay, that's alright. Alright, here he is with the bees. So, the honeybee leads hunters to bees because whenever they collect the honey, they spill some and the honeybee gets honey. Enter the honeybee area.
There we go. So he's playing in the honey and looks perfectly happy. So, hello, can we have your feather? Oh, that is loud. So we got a do-do-do. Get honeybee feather, 8 points. Excellent. Good. Oh, crap. I was hoping to get back to Tarna in time, but it doesn't matter. I wanted to walk around the bazaar for a little bit. But it is what it is. And our speed is locked in, which could be bad. But we'll get there. We swear our oath, our word of honor, to bring peace to Tarna. Speed is locked. That makes me so upset. And we're going to walk with Rakeesh to... His speech is mostly the same. He tells you about his paladin skills and being able to search or sense danger. But he does add something. Instead of going on about paladin skills more, you're not a paladin. So he's going to talk about magic skills now.
I must warn you about the Simbani, my friend. They are very brave warriors and honorable friends, but they greatly dislike, even fear the use of magic. It would be best if you do not mention your skills at magic, nor cast any spells within the walls of the village.
Okay. Well, that kind of sucks, but,
I think that part of the reason they dislike the leopard men and seek this war is because the leopard men use magic. The leopard men respect users of magic. Perhaps you could gain their trust with your skills and help convince them of the serious consequences of this senseless war.
Okay. We'll see what we can do.
The Simbani have been friends and allies with my people for a long time, but I've not dealt with the leopard men before this.
I have to say, I ran into a nasty bug. I was not happy. Alright, we'll bring the speed down. The, whether you can talk to the people seems to be speed-based. Because I had speed accidentally set to full, and we couldn't talk to the Libon or Uhura at all. It was just, okay, good, bye, get out. Like, wait a second! So we got 3 points, puzzle points, for entering the middle Savannah screen for the first time. And now we're going to talk to the Libon. We get 2 points for asking the Libon about the Spear of Death, which we did quickly. We do need to ask him about the drum, but currently that is not a conversational option.
The Libon was most gracious to see us, yet I felt as though we were not welcome. I do not understand, for I have always respected him. How did we offend him, Uhura?
I be not knowing, Rakeesh. The Simbani have lost much honor with the stealing of the Spear of Death. Still, for the Libon to not listen to your words of peace be not right. And we get 2 points for asking Uhura about the spear. Let's talk about the Libon.
I have known the Libon for a long time and respect him well. He is a wise man and usually listens as well as speaks. As a youth he be called Ana Hasima, he who does not speak, because he be listening always. So we are at 70 puzzle points. The Libon be my mother's brother, and he has always been kind to me. I do not know what be troubling him that he not listening. I'm just going to try to grab... Okay, and then she go outside to celebrate. We were treated royally by the Simbani. I think that the Libon told us only what he wanted us to know about this war. When you've earned his trust, perhaps he will tell you more. I skipped by it too quickly by accident, but he also tells us to, maybe we can see it. First of all, I'm going to save this as 1-4 because I don't want to lose this. But if we go back to 1-3... Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Well, so here we can test our theory. If I up the speed to thus... So I've got it on full speed now, which you can see because we're zipping along. So when we talk in here, if it behaves like it did for me last time, we will barely get a chance to say anything. Well, we did get a chance to say a couple things. We have come to your village to determine the cause for this call of war. As long as the spirits of death be missing, there will be war. Interesting. I didn't know you could talk to Rakeesh. I guess you can kind of prompt him. Spear, Livon, Peace, Spear, Tarna, Hut, Leg, Demon, Travel. Okay, so I skipped by this by accident. I do not think the Libon told us everything he knows. If you can find the Spear of Death, you may be able to convince the Libon that war is unnecessary. Good luck. I suggest that first you seek some magic wood. Krisa wishes to teach you the magic staff spell, but you must have the magic wood to do so. I think you will need all the magic you can get in order to restore peace in this land. So that actually is a hint about how the game will progress. And let me go through the dialogue options real quick. I don't think there's anything new here. Okay. So I want to talk about some stuff, but I also don't want to edge into we're at the hour mark almost exactly right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save. Oh, here we go. I was wondering when we would run out of save space. I'm going to save Wizard 2 for our second video. And when we come back, I will talk about some things I want to talk about. For now, I am Anna Mardell, and this is Quest for Glory 3, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.